Hi, this is Oscar Chalupsky, 12 times world champion and cancer warrior. Funny enough, here I am watching the video that happened 10 years ago to date. This weekend would have been the Molokai for 2022. It was cancelled. So next year, 2023, we're going to have a Molokai again. And this time sponsored by Shaw & Partners, my friends Earl and Alan have agreed to sponsor the 2023 Molokai Channel Crossing, and I hope to be there strong as ever. But now I watch as the video that we shot there 10 years ago of me winning my 12th Molokai at 49. And it was a very memorable day in my life. It's probably changed my life in that there I was having no chance. The field was stacked. It was one of the best fields ever gathered. Main contenders were obviously Clint had won 2 in a row, so he was going for his third. You had Bruce Taylor. You had a very young Michael Booth, who's become one of the top SUP paddlers and Surfski paddlers in the world. You had Dean Gardner that had already won 9 Molokais going for it. You had Matthew Bowman from South Africa as one of the finest Surfski paddlers in the world and one of the strongest and biggest out there. He was very hyped up to win. Then you had Patrick Dolan, the local Hawaiian, who was very fit. So we spent a lot of time doing shoots, and most of the shoots were done on China Wall. Now, China Wall is the end of the race. When you come around the corner after paddling for 50 kilometers, you've got 2.5, 3 kilometers into this wind, but you've got this advantage that you get if you surf China Wall, and we spent a lot of time at China Wall. China Wall is where it make or break the Molokai. And you won't believe, looking at the video and reminiscing what happened there, is that there's a reef right on the end of China Wall. So once you've caught the wave, and then you've got to miss the reef that sticks out, that's very, very shallow. And I actually hit my rudder, and I was so fortunate because that could have been the end of my race. That it hit my rudder, but it didn't break, nothing happened, and I managed to surge ahead. So I was surfing some fantastic waves the whole way. I was right in the back of the field through 10th. I had Chris Laird and his kids as my escort boat, and they were shouting and screaming at me. And getting towards the end, 5 kilometers from China Wall, Portlock Cliffs, I asked Chris, how am I doing? He says, no, you're doing well. You're in second place because Dean Gardner is just in front of you. And I said, are you sure? And then I shouted to him, I said, oh, where's Clint Robinson? He says, no, I can't see him. He's nowhere. So I really put my head down. As I say, I'd been going through the field, and Dean was the last guy, and I was struggling to catch him. He was going very well because he's a master on the downwind. And slowly I pushed it harder and harder and overtook him. Then I knew I had the race in the bag. All I had to do was negotiate China Wall, and I should win. Not many people have ever overtaken me in the last part of the Molokai, because as I turn that corner, I make my paddle short. I shorten it the whole way through, but coming towards the end, I shorten it down to 210, which is the smallest my paddle will go, and to get ready to paddle into that howling wind, surf a wave, and hopefully win. So halfway towards the finish at Hawaii Kai, my escort boat comes close to me and shouts to me, hey Oscar, you won't believe it, Clint Robinson is just behind you, is catching you up. And of course, you can imagine, I knew it couldn't be Dean. Dean's not the fastest on flat, he's the greatest downwind paddler. And then I looked back and I saw this black boat of Clint trying to catch me. And off I went. And again, I never forget this, vividly imagine this, is that I was swearing at myself, saying, listen, Oscar, concentrate. Use your body and your legs. Don't, because what happens, you get so excited, like I was overtaking Dean and I was going for the win, that you can make a mistake, that you go into a state of rushing to try and win the race. You have to go back and make sure your technique is perfect. And I was swearing at myself to use my legs and rotate. And you don't know how magnificent the feeling was. I paddled under the bridge at Hawaii Kai, looked back, and you can see it in the video, and saw that there's no way Clint could ever catch me. Although I had pushed myself to the limit. I went past the finishing line, and there's nothing better hearing the guy announcing to say, hey, this is Oscar, 11 times world champion now, 12 times world champion at 49. And I felt great in my head, but my body was completely rebelling. I was hyperventilating, I couldn't breathe. In fact, I'm sure if I'd fallen off, I don't think I would have been able to stay up because I had nothing in my lungs. I pushed myself to the limit. And again, I think that's the difference between me and a lot of other people. You have to be able to push yourself to the limit. And 10 years since that day, and it changed my life, being 12 times champion. And over those 10 years, I've carried on competing, winning some, losing some, and got a bit of misfortune, getting bone marrow cancer, incurable cancer. But I'm still here at 59, and hopefully next year, 2023, in the Shaw and Partners Molokai, I'll be there to try very hard on doing well again.